Well, g'day, Vanessa. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on again.
Hi, Peter. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
That's okay. Now, I had you on my show a week or two ago now with the day in the life of Facebook, business, and you and your business on Facebook. And I was really impressed with you and your story. And I just wanted to get you back on to do a full episode to really sort of dig deeper into what it is you do. So could you just quickly tell us what it is your business is all about?
My name is Vanessa Harley, and I'm an expert at showing people, and specifically teens, how to love healthy food and get rid of some of the secret evils that lurk in our food.
Okay, now how old are you?
I'm 16 years old.
So you're 16 and you started a business, right? That, to me, that's incredible. When I was 16, I wasn't thinking about doing business. I just wanted to play guitar. That's all I wanted to do.
Thank you, yeah.
So tell me how a 16-year-old starts a business. How did it all begin for you?
Well, my mother introduced me to a business course in February, and I was optimistic about it, but I really had no idea how to do anything. I was a year 11 student at school, just a normal kid, and I went along to this course, and I was so inspired by all these business people, all these entrepreneurs, and such successful people who had built their own businesses based on their passions, and I thought, well, why can't I do that? So I decided to start writing some ebooks based on my research and my knowledge and my background of eating healthy foods, and I decided that that would be a great way to help other people and guide other people into enjoying healthy food.
Okay, so that's obviously your passion then is the healthy food and just educating people and helping people with that. How did you get into healthy food? What made you just think that was the thing that you wanted to do out of all the things that you could have done?
Well, I think eating healthy food is something I'm really passionate about. I've always grown up in a house that's been stocked full of fresh fruit and veggies and hardly any processed food. And I myself am gluten intolerant, and I only discovered this at the beginning of the year, so about January. And since then I've been, because of the limited amount of gluten-free foods available in public and things like that, I've been focusing a lot on how to cook and prepare my own gluten-free foods and make them really exciting and exotic and things like that, and fuel my body and keep myself looking healthy and feeling healthy and confident about what I'm eating and enjoy it.
Okay, so it stemmed from a problem that you had, or how did you even figure out that you were gluten-free? Because, I mean, you've lived 16 years without having an issue, or did you have issues and now you can identify what it was that was doing that? So how would someone identify that they are gluten-free, that maybe they could take advantage of your recipes?
Okay, well, I started having small symptoms of gluten intolerance since I was very young. So stomach cramps sometimes since I was about 2 years old, but since I went to America last year for 6 months, and I started eating lots of very highly processed foods, completely just full of wheat, and as I increased that, I started getting very increased symptoms. So I had stomach pains, and I had chest pains and palpitations, and I broke out in acne everywhere, and loads of different people can get different symptoms. So you can get bloating and loads of different things, dizziness, nausea, things like that. But when I started eliminating gluten from my diet, I started noticing a very dramatic improvement in these symptoms, and now that I've stopped eating gluten altogether, I don't get any of these symptoms.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so that was there some of the ways that people can find out that maybe they're gluten intolerant. So, what was life like once you've discovered that you were gluten intolerant and you started eating gluten-free foods? What was your experience there? How was that for you?
Well, for me, my mother is celiac, so I've been around the whole idea of eating gluten-free my whole life. As a teenager, it's quite difficult if you want to socialize like a normal teen, going out to parties and going out to the movies and getting snacks and things like that. It's really difficult at first because you think, oh, well, how much is it really going to affect me if I just eat this packet of chips or if I have a hamburger with my friends? You don't really calculate. If you don't know the detrimental effects eating gluten can have on you over long term, you kind of put up with some of the symptoms for a while sometimes. It's really hard finding varieties of food that are gluten-free, but not only that, that are healthy. So a lot of cafes and things like that, they'll have one gluten-free food, which will be flourless orange cake, but that is packed full of butter and sugar and icing and things like that. So it's quite difficult, and also you can either just get plain fruit or plain salad, so that's not very exciting either. Yeah. And you don't get a range of nutrients. So
it's kind of like you're missing out on a lot of good stuff just for that situation.
Yeah, it is. It's not fun at first, but if you're interested in buying You and Gluten, which is my ebook, we will be guided on how to prepare exciting normal food and exotic foods as well, and be passionate about eating gluten-free food.
Yeah, so this is what stemmed from this situation you're in. So I mean, you're out there, you're not able to eat the foods that your friends are eating, or if you do, there's consequences for that, and sometimes you just want to enjoy the moment, so you'll decide to eat the junk that doesn't do you good later on. So like it's a bit of a miserable life. So that's why you decided to start creating recipes, basically so that you could eat some interesting food and enjoy yourself around food. Would that be a true statement, do you think?
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly why I started doing this. At the beginning, the first month or two, I was cheating a little bit and still unsure if I really had gluten intolerance, because I've had about 5 blood tests for celiac disease and they all said I didn't have it. Mm-hmm. So I was a bit optimistic, but now I know that gluten affects me negatively. I try every day. I'm having really exciting foods and I experiment with so many different things, and I prepare pastas and lasagnas, all really great, delicious food. And every single day without fail, I hear my friends saying, "Oh, you've always got the most amazing food. How do you do this? And what's in that?" And they're actually jealous of my food.
So you've switched it around to where you go out to the movies and you can't eat the food, or if you do, it sucks, to being the one that they're all going, well, I want that. I want some of that. So these recipes must be pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you've crafted these yourself. You've invented the recipe. You try out different things. And what are some of the ingredients that you're using in your food?
Well, some of the things I put a completely different twist on. So I eliminate things like flour, and sometimes you don't even need to add flour to things, but if you're making a cake or breads and things, you can add buckwheat flour or rice flour, almond meal, and lots of different nut meals, things like that. Mm-hmm. So ground almonds and things like that. You can add corn flour and things like that. If you're making some foods like pancakes, I've got a range of pancakes that don't have any flour or anything in it. They're completely sweetened and based just on fruit, and they stick together like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. It really depends on what meal, because you can add so many different exotic ingredients.
Yeah. So you've created these excellent recipes now for yourself, but now you're just making them available to other people, like through your ebooks and that sort of thing. Now, how has it changed your life, actually, being able to eat these foods? Yeah, obviously you have clear skin now. You must feel a lot better. So how has that changed your life?
It's made me so much more confident in the fact that I can be healthy and enjoy my food without having to worry about if I'm going to be covered in acne tomorrow at school, if I'm going to look really bloated, if I'm going to feel nauseous. And I also don't have to worry about going out to the movies or something, or if I'm having a party, I don't want to feel bad if it's my birthday and I'm not eating the cake, or if my friends don't have to eat like food that resembles cardboard when they come over for dinner, things like that. So it's made me be able to get on with life and being a normal teenager, and I can eat things now like spaghetti bolognese and cake and things like that, and still be healthy and not having to worry about my long-term health and jeopardizing that.
Yeah, okay. Now, let's get onto that subject of normal teenager. Like, you're not a normal teenager. Like, you can sort of pretend you are, food-wise and that kind of thing. But the average teenager isn't out there starting a business, and you probably seem pretty weird to your friends that you're out there doing this. Could you tell us a bit about your experience as a young business person? You must think very differently to your peers.
Yeah, it is very different. I still keep the conversation going with only about 5 of my closest friends, because initially when I started doing all these business things and going on conference calls and going to business meetings and things like that, I started telling my friends, and even my closest friends who I've known since primary school, they laughed at me. So they're not in this, they haven't got the business mindset going or anything, and I hear conversations every day about like shoes and lip gloss and people spending 3 hours on their hair before school. Just it's a very different mindset, but I'm very lucky I've been exposed to such influential people to help me build up my long-term economic self.
Yeah.
And and
when I was 16, I wasn't thinking of building out my future and that kind of thing, business-wise. I didn't know anyone else either. So tell me a bit about the experience of being around those people. Like, how does it feel for you personally? Not what are they doing to you or what are they saying? They laugh at you, which isn't cool, which you think, you probably think better of your friends, would treat you better with your different ideas. But how has that made you feel personally? Because I'm sure a lot of other people, even as adults, will go through the same sort of thing.
Yeah. It's really, when you start building your own business at any age, you'll have a lot of people that will put you down and think that it's a hilarious thing for some reason and think that you can't do what you're doing. But it's also, for every 100 negative people, there's always that one person who's going to go, "You're amazing. Look at what you're doing. I wish I was doing what you are when I was 16." And it's not nice. Don't get me wrong. It's not nice having people my age telling me that what I'm doing is silly, or that I'm too big for my boots or anything like that. But I enjoy what I'm doing, and it's built me up for the rest of my life. I've got a totally different mindset, and I know where I want to go in life. So if they want to stick to the 9 to 5, doing a job that they don't like, they can do that if they want, or they can start building their own business up later in life, but really,
Yeah.
they're going to be negative. They can stick with that.
Because, you know what, honestly, this little bit of conversation we're having now, this is probably the catalyst. This is the moment last week where I think we really connected in a big way, or I felt like we connected in a big way, was that it's kind of like that isolation amongst your friends. You know, you just kind of, because you're so different and you're doing something so different, and that it's hard to push through when everyone around you, everything around you is not for you, it's against you in a way. And I think that's incredible. That's what I want you to. I wanted to bring that out and bring you up on the show, just specifically so we could talk about that little moment there, because you're taking this on at a very young age when typically everyone's very self-conscious and kind of feels weird and they don't want to sort of step out of the group and do something different, where you've actually just flipped that on its head and going, I'm stepping right out of this situation and thinking of my future, and that's awesome.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it is really hard to get up the confidence to do that, but I think once you do it, you realize how far ahead you are. I don't want to be demeaning to my peers and things like that, but if anybody's going to put you down, there's nothing negative about what you're doing if you want to set yourself up financially for the future. So you can still be friends, but have different business attitudes. And as a 16-year-old, I think this is what I'm meant to do, to help other people, and this will help me live my dreams of travel and adventure. So,
because I know as of last week, there was a girl, Renee, I think she contacted you as well on Facebook, made friends with you as well, like who saw your interview and went, hey, I'm an 18-year-old business person as well. You know, I'm starting to get into business, and like you've inspired someone already just with your story. It's like, there's someone else like me.
Yeah, it's so amazing. I was so excited when Renee contacted me. It's so nice knowing that there are other people out there, because I know there's a few websites and things for that, and forums for teenagers who want to become entrepreneurs, and it's really such a great thing when we can bond together because we're in the same situation. And I think this is going to be our future, and there's going to be a generation of us up there. So, yeah, it's really great to know that, we can help others.
That's awesome. And the thing is, right, so you're 16, you've got the future in mind, you're creating for yourself a mindset. Now, the thing that I think a lot of people don't get, right? The majority of people have jobs and that's all, that's cool, right? If that suits them, then that's great. It's the small percentage of people, of entrepreneurs, that go out and sort of make change and do something different. So I think it's awesome that you've started at such an early age. Like, you have a vision of where things can go for yourself that's outside of just what everyone else around you is doing, and particularly using tools like the internet, right? You've got your Facebook page. There's so many ways that we can connect, and that's what it's all about. So, and your products are digital. People can download them and sort of solve their problems of eating cardboard, of not eating cardboard. So that you can actually have, with tools like the tools that we're using right now through Skype, we can share our message. What's your vision of where you're going to take your business?
Well, at the moment, I'm just focusing on ebooks because people can use them in so many different ways. You can use them on your computer, on your iPhone, on a Kindle, and loads of things like that. And you can even print it off if you want a hard copy when you're cooking. I'd love to be able to talk to people one-on-one about their dietary needs in regards to gluten and different recipes and the whole lifestyle that goes with eating gluten-free. At the moment, I'm just building up from ebooks, but I'd love to do some cooking videos and things like that, and some case studies, talking to other teenagers about how they can they've been changed by using human gluten. So it's all about, I just want to find more ways I can help people. So just starting from ebooks and going from there.
Yeah. And also you're doing similar to people who have a job that go out and start a business, it's always on the side. It's always night times and weekends and different things. And you're juggling schoolwork with that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk a little bit about that. How are you managing this? How often are you working?
Okay, so I've just started the Year 12 course, so 5 hours a day, sometimes 6 because I do extension subjects outside of school. I'm going to school, but then I come home and I do 1 or 2 hours on the business each day, and then I spend about half of each day on the weekend doing business work, and half I'll do schoolwork and study and stuff. It is difficult to keep up with the balance of homework and assignments and tests and things like that, plus doing conference calls 3 times a week and going to business meetings. But if you are dedicated and you plan exactly the time slots you're going to do and what you want to achieve, it's much easier. So, yeah.
Okay, so how do you figure out what you need to do next in business?
In business?
No.
I've got a big plan of what I'm going to do next. I've got so many ideas for different books I can do, but I've got a great support network with the company I'm with, who's guiding me in my business and things like that. So I go on conference calls 3 times a week, and they help me decide what is most important, what I need to do first, and what is fundamentally the next step to helping others in my business.
And so you take that information and then you sort of plan out, okay, well, I've got this block of time on this day, and this day, and then you take that and go, okay, I'm going to do that in these times.
Yes, I do that.
Wow,
yeah.
So I think a lot of business owners or a lot of people who are struggling in business probably struggle with that quite a bit, of actually piecing their time, putting their time together and making things work. So I think, yeah. How did you come up that was the way to do things? Is that just sort of ingrained from just being in a study routine that you have to put blocks of time aside for certain things anyway? How did you come up with that system?
Yeah, well, I've always, my family's always been really supportive of working really hard at school. So I'm really used to the routine of working hard and completing all of my schoolwork by a set time and doing things like that. So it's really just factoring the business into that. So I'll do an hour of maths and then an hour of a blog, and then I'll do an hour of English and then an hour of a conference call and things like that. So I just,
it's just all mixed up and it just gets done.
Yeah, it gets done. It has to get done.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And I think you're inspired a lot of people just from that video we did the other week. You've inspired. I've got a lot of feedback from that, from people who have watched that and just gone, wow, awesome. Like they're just loving the fact that you're doing what you're doing. What's some of the feedback you've personally got? So you got some from Renee. Have you had any feedback from that?
I've had some from Nate, which was really great. I've had little bits of feedback from other people on Facebook and people I've connected with through you. Mm-hmm. I've had quite a few people that are just starting their own businesses, but they're middle-aged and things like that. They're not my age, who've wanted to do joint ventures with me and put my recipes on their websites and work together to see how we can help people and do packages and things like that. So that's been really great.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now you're getting into joint ventures and all kinds of things. That's awesome. So let's see, where can we take this now? So you've got these excellent recipes. You've invented them yourself. You've created this business. You've worked out a way to make it work within your lifestyle. You're obviously passionate about it because you don't push through those times and like you said, just got to get it done. You don't push through those times unless you're passionate. What's a thing that you could leave someone with who's thinking about starting a business? Why should they start a business? Like, why are you doing this overall? What's the big arching picture?
Well, fundamentally, I've started my own business so I can live up to my core values. So integrity and freedom and all things that go with that. So I can set myself up for the future and avoid things like mortgages and debt and things like that, and being one of the unfortunate people who was hit hard by the global financial crisis, things like that. I want to always be able to say, okay, I'm going to France tomorrow, I'm going to Mexico next week to scuba dive. I want to be able to experience everything I can in life and meet loads of interesting people and help people in loads of different situations. So starting your own business means you've got the freedom to do whatever you want, and you can take yourself anywhere in life, and you can take your passion and show others and guide others how to be passionate about this thing, and you can earn money from it, so you can do whatever you want with that money. But so it's just so fulfilling being able to you learn and grow, and with all the research I'm doing, I'm learning so much more about how gluten affects the body, how I can be healthier, and learning about what's going on around you in the world.
Excellent, excellent. So if people want to get their hands on your recipes, what's the best website that they can go to, or Facebook, or where do we send people to find out more about you?
If you'd like to buy my You and Gluten or some of my other ebooks, you can go to lovefoodlivefree.com, or you can follow my Facebook page, which is Love Food Live Free. You can also follow me on Twitter, so that's Vanessa Harley 79, and I'm on LinkedIn as well, things like that, but fundamentally lovefoodlivefree.com.
Excellent. Well, once again, you've been an incredible guest, and I'm so glad that I've captured your story now for all time's sake, so that when you're leading the world in the world of business and health and adventure, so maybe 5-10 years down the track, maybe 20 years down the track, and you're this person I can't even reach anymore because you're just doing such awesome stuff, I can say I was there at the beginning. I'm so glad you decided to come on the show. It's been awesome having you here.
Thank you so much, Peter, for having me. It was great talking to you.
Excellent. Okay, you make it a great day. I'll talk to you soon, Vanessa.
Thank you. You too. See you later.